just get a few questions about your hand, much to the chagrin of your head coach. How do you plan to handle that? What's the game plan on those questions?
Well, I'm still, working on it. It was only 11 days ago when I heard it. So, but I think we're in a decent place, and hopefully it can get better over the course of the next 7 days. Not quite where I want it to be right now, but hopefully by game time it should be.
And it was good to hear that Rob Gronkowski was back on the practice field for this second straight practice after he suffered a concussion in the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
What is it about the way you guys operate on offense that you can lose one of your best players and still seamlessly move on?
Well, it may have seemed seamlessly, but it really wasn't. I think a lot of other guys had to fill in the slack, and, losing such a great player is hard for any offense. We don't want to do that again. So I'm hoping he's out there, all the time. He's obviously still working his way back, but Gronk is such a great player, great teammate, and we've got so many other guys, though, at receiver, at tight end, at running back that, really did step in when he wasn't out there, but we're going to need him out there this week if we want to play our best.
The last time you guys faced the Eagles in a Super Bowl, your offensive coordinator was preparing for another opportunity. At the time, it was Charlie Weiss. So it looks like there's a good chance that could happen again with Josh. How does that impact your preparation and all of this lead up?
Well, it's very much the same, the preparation. Everyone's dealing with some different things, especially as you get older. And Josh has been such a great mentor for me, one of my great friends. We'll see how all that plays out after the year, but he deserves whatever opportunity he would ever get. He's an incredible coach, and, I've been lucky to be with him for as long as I have, and, any place that has him is lucky to have him.
You've shared with us that just the way you came into the NFL and there were doubters about your ability. And you've said, because of all of that, why not play as long as I possibly can, obviously win as much as you can? Is there anything, what do you think could actually satisfy you that you could say, man, I did it?
That's a good question. I think the enjoyment for me comes from just the process of, the training, the preparation for the games, and then going out and playing. So it really spans the course of the year. I don't think it's really about, I really only enjoy this part of football. I enjoy every part of it. And I love getting out there with my teammates. I mean, we were laughing this morning like I was 22 years old. So it's been a while since I've been 22 years old, but we're having fun, and we have a great opportunity for us. So hopefully we can just go out there and keep our preparation where it needs to be, enjoy the moment. You never know if you're ever going to have this experience again, but we've got to go out and try to play our best game against the best team we'll face all year.
Well, there he is at 40 years old, and apparently wearing your sweatshirt inside out is still trendy.
Someone should have told him, right? I mean, that's embarrassing.
Listen, it's probably going to be the coolest thing, and everyone's going to be wearing it like that tomorrow.
I don't think he really cares right now.
Yeah. No, he certainly
got bigger things to worry about.
He certainly doesn't. And he mentioned that. He says his hand isn't at the spot he wants it to be. Wants it to be 100%. He just got those stitches taken out.
That is highly unusual. Like, to hear him talk like that about an injury, that's.
I mean, a week ago,
that's totally against everything in New England.
A week ago, he wouldn't even admit he had a right hand, let alone talk about the condition of it. But yeah, it's interesting that they are talking about it openly now. I wonder things get a little looser once you get to the Super Bowl a little bit there, and you see Bill Belichick was a little looser this week. I wonder if there's any kind of a little exhale after last week.
Shouldn't there be some sort of blockading of questions about Tom Brady's hands? He carved up the Jaguars for 290 passing yards last week. That was supposed to be the week where we were concerned about the vulnerability of that right hand, and he was utterly brilliant. The fourth quarter comeback, down 10 points against perhaps the best defense in football this year in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, 290 passing yards, and maybe it faded a little bit because Nick Foles was so brilliant in the game right after that behind Tom Brady. But I understand why people are going to be focused on it this week. But it certainly feels like by Sunday, the Eagles will know, listen, we're not worried about that. We know we're getting the best from number 12 in that white uniform.
What I was really struck by in the interview was the number of times he referred to the preparation. I'm sitting here thinking we're going to spend the next week talking about this matchup. Can the Eagles front bother Brady? What is Doug Peterson going to come up with? He's on such a roll from a game planning perspective and a play calling perspective. The New England Patriots know exactly how to prepare for this game better than anyone maybe ever.
Most of the team was there last year. And I know Bill, the one thing that Bill talks about is for each year, every team is different. But let's face it, when most of your team has already experienced what the Super Bowl is like, the whole schedule, the whole week, that's a clear advantage. And that's not taking anything away from Doug Peterson. But it is a clear advantage to know what you're getting into, beforehand.
Because you're just using less energy worrying about it. You sort of have the roadmap of how to get it done.
You know what to expect from the coaches.
Fewer surprises,
No
right?
surprises.
Well, we're not sure just yet whether or not Rob Gronkowski is going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Of course, he was going through that concussion protocol after he was hit in the AFC Championship game. He was back at practice yesterday. You heard Brady explain what a difference maker Rob Gronkowski is on the field for this offense, another weapon, how productive he is on third down. How different does this offense look, Dave, if Gronk isn't on the field?
Well, listen, Tom Brady's a magician back there, but I've always said that Rob Gronkowski is the non-quarterback MVP of this league. That's how important he is. That's how dominant of a player he is for the New England Patriots. And if he's healthy, if he's out there, that's the number one matchup I want to see. How will the Philadelphia Eagles defend him? Because there's different teams have tried multiple ways, and they've come up short for the most part. So that's going to be the big matchups in the Super Bowl.
Bill Belichick often defines running backs' running skills by the yards they should get based on the blocking and the yards they get on their own after the blocking. Think about what Gronk does. There are the yards that you expect out of a player based off of the route combination and the throw and the precision and the accuracy of the quarterback. Then there are the yards that Gronk chews up on his own. When he is dragging defenders like he is the big kid in the playground and they're 5 years younger than he is. That's the kind of difference maker that Damian just alluded them to him being. He is the most dominant player in the NFL on offense that has not played quarterback. There's a reason why he has put up so many records and might already be the best tight end of all time, despite the fact that he's still in his mid-20s.
It's so remarkable they were able to come back and win that game against Jacksonville without him. He creates mismatches in the secondary and at the second level of the defense against linebackers, obviously. And Danny Amendola did such an incredible job of creating those mismatches just with his route running.
Right.
But over the course of an entire Super Bowl against a very good defense, obviously, as Brady said, you would much rather have your big guy.
And the great luxury that the Patriots have, even when Gronk's not out there, they've been accustomed to playing without him. So it's most teams, it would be just terrible. But for the Patriots, they're used to it.
As Brady says, they're used to it, but it's not easy to fill that, even though they're so good at making it all look so easy. That'll do it for us here on the Pro Bowl postgame show. Coming up over on ESPN, we've got some NBA